Welcome to another edition of the Digicel Sports Show right here on Islandstats.com. I'm your host, Earl Baston, and joining me yet again is Jason Juggling J. Ford. Big lineup today.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Under 17 women's national team unfortunately went down last night to USA. We also have the new Corona League, Summer Corporate League. We had a draw last night. Different. 9 teams, something different, yeah. And we'll look at a bunch of cricket this weekend, plus some other things going on. We have the National Track and Field Championships this weekend as well. So we'll get to all of that after this message from our sponsor.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber-to-the-home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber.
Well, Jay, unfortunately, the under 17 women's national team went down 10-1 to USA. First goal for USA was, I guess, bittersweet for Mia Fischel, who is the niece of Andrew David and Herbie Bascom, scoring the first goal for the U.S. Bermuda was able to equalize through Leilani Nisbet, but then U.S. took total control. One of the strongest teams if not the strongest team in the age group of under 17 for women's football. And
that's worldwide.
Yeah.
Those are things that
it's not in the region.
I was going to say,
not in the region.
Region.
No, it's not in the region. No, definitely.
That's worldwide.
Yeah. And believe it or not, that's only the third goal they've conceded in a few years. First goal Bermuda has scored in the tournament. Unfortunately, the result eliminates Bermuda, but we have one more game against Costa Rica to play on Friday, which is tomorrow. Got a chance to speak with Erin Denkins, the coach of the women's under 17 team, after the game. Little disappointed, but looking on the bright side. So let's get the interview with Erin Denkins, the coach of the Bermuda women's under 17 team.
In 10 goals, it's clear that there are areas that we need to. The players tonight gave it their best out there against probably the best women's football team at U17 level. The U.S. haven't lost a game in this competition in about 6 years. So it was always going to be an uphill battle for the girls. The U.S. is starting lineup, all 17-year-olds. Our starting lineup had 14, 15, and 16-year-olds in it. And for periods of the game, we were in it. We were toe-to-toe with them. So I think the girls walked off the field with their heads up high, knowing that they gave their best for their country. And I think Sakari Turner had an excellent game. She saved a lot of goals 1v1, made a lot of brilliant saves. Leilani's goal was a classic goal. And I think Jade Steedhill had a good game, marking one of their better players. So there were a lot of learning points and a lot of things that we picked up and a lot of things that we can improve on. And going forward with a young team, we can only build it and get better. Tomorrow we'll recover from this match, debrief the match, and look forward to our next opponent on Friday, which is Costa Rica. Costa Rica had a hard game against Canada. They lost 2-1, so they'll be looking to end the tournament on a high note also. So we'll be looking to get a positive result also. Girls are focused, determined, and ready to give their country their best.
Well, Denkins was looking on the positive side. We do have, as we said, another game left. But looking at it, it's like you said in previous shows, this is our first time at this level. It's still that baby steps. We're still learning at this level because it is a step higher than what we're used to doing. Consistently getting out of the group stages of the previous round, that's what they were looking to do. We've now done that, but this one's going to take a little longer to develop, and patience is needed.
And definitely, but you just said patience is needed because, number one, not just only the players, but also the coaching. It's a learning curve for everybody who's involved. The good thing is that the crop of young ladies that went on this particular tour, they're young.
Yeah.
And they've got a taste. So if you just go off of what the young ladies have done with previous tournaments, and I can keep going back to saying, Earl, we don't have a 11-a-side league here. So they've always gotten information from tournaments.
Yes.
Brought the information back home. They've worked at the information to improve themselves. I expect the exact same thing after this tournament, after the Costa Rica game. Coming back home, okay, assessing what we done, how we did, but also we know what the benchmark is.
Yes.
Not just getting back here, but to also be successful here. Now, whether that it's speed training, whether that's weight training.
Yes.
All these different things come into play because of the fact that what style, and this is where we get with the coaching side of it, what style do we have to play to be competitive at this level?
Right.
We've seen now the Bermuda Football Association over the past, let's say probably now past 6-7 years, they've came up with a pretty much of a national style of how we can compete against teams in our region. And we're seeing the success come up through. Well, this might be another thing where we might have to adjust, or we might have to get stronger and see where, because with the USA, they're strong.
Yeah. I mean, look at it. 2 years ago, 2016, the same team went up against the same team, lost 12-0.
Yeah.
The coach didn't mention it, but you look at, we talk about benchmarks, they scored 10 goals this time, 5 in each half.
Yeah.
But Bermuda scored.
Yeah.
Different game, different scenario, but you give yourself a gauge. How did we shut them down in these areas? How did we improve?
And I think we always have to keep in mind the makeup of our stature of ladies. A lot of times we are going up against faster, taller, stronger. And that's not just the ladies. We've seen that in our men's team.
Without a doubt.
So we're seeing our center halves in the national men's team who are barely getting over 6 feet. Playing against opposition who's strikers who are 6'6".
Yeah.
Definitely an advantage.
Without a doubt.
So these are the things that, like I said, the coaching staff will have to go back and say, okay, so we have to get stronger. Okay, now what is our plan to be strong by the time this event comes in? Is it preseason? Is it during? All these different things, you have to come with a plan, and then they have done a great job so far, but this is something that is just ongoing. I'm pretty sure the whole coaching staff, they're probably licking their lips now, because obviously it doesn't matter if you lost 1-0, 5-0, 10-1. Nobody likes losing.
No.
So it gets your attention.
Yeah. Back to the drawing board.
And this is what the coaches love, because now they know they're going to have everybody's attention.
Oh, without a doubt. They can say to the team, listen, this is what we need to do.
Yes.
Get on board.
Yes.
Let's get it done.
Yes.
We give ourselves X amount of time. Now, again, patience is needed.
And I think the young ladies who are there, they probably understand that more than any of us, because they have brought into what the coaches have told them prior, and they've gotten this far, which they never dreamed they would get this far.
Yeah.
So, once again, I'm just proud of these young ladies, number one, representing us, but I can't wait to see what happens next time around.
Yeah, definitely.
But we're still got the next game. So let's go to the next game first before we can wrap up the whole tournament.
Yeah. Let's finish with the Costa Rica game,
Exactly.
and then next week we can talk about
Going further.
Because by that time they'll be back and have a chance to speak more with the coach and some of the players to just talk about the experience.
Yes.
I know a lot of the experience in Nicaragua was lost because of the violence and the unrest. But this, we're concentrating just solely on football now. You'll get a better understanding of where some of them feel as if they need that personal help and what can help the team per se. And we look forward to first tomorrow's game, then returning and getting an idea of where do we go from here as far as the under-17s are concerned. Well, last night at BAA, the Corona Corporate League was announced. Mike McGrath, as you know, is the president of the Corona League. They quickly put this together because there was going to be no commercial football over the summer. So let's get the press conference with Mike McGrath with the Corona Corporate League.
I'd like to welcome you all to the launch of the Corona Corporate League. BA recently heard that the old Corporate League wasn't running this season, and we knew we needed to get these sporty people out of their offices, away from their desks and onto the field. So we reached out to our good friends at Gosling's, and quickly the Corona Corporate League was created. It's not just on the field we will find winners, but in the community too, as the winning team will have a $1,000 donation made to the charity of their choice in their name. The league will be based on a Champions League style format, with 3 leagues of 3 fighting for places and seeding in the quarter-finals from June the 11th to the 27th. Then a knockout format from the quarter-finals on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th of July through semi-finals on Monday the 9th to the much anticipated final on Friday the 13th of July, which may be scary for both teams but will result in only one winner. Kickoffs will be at 7 p.m. each night, with the 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. doubleheader for the semi-finals. And who are going to do battle in that spot for the finals, I hear you ask? Well, let me introduce you to the teams taking part in the new annual Corona Corporate League. The 19 competition is made up of EY, KPMG, Clarion Bank, Skyport, Bermuda Motors Limited, Goslings, Butterfield Group, Belco and...
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber.
Well, Jay, there was a few teams there said they could use a goalkeeper.
Congratulations. You dusted it back off.
Well, I called your name real quick.
Well, you know, I'm a professional.
Sideline person?
Watch it.
Well, as I always tell you, I volunteer to do my part, and my part's on the sideline.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm cheering. No, I'm glad that this is coming about. You know, Earl, there's always, when you work with certain companies, and we had this tradition throughout the years that, you know, you have a company against a company for fun.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all about fun. And with Corona coming on board, it brings a little bit of structure to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just can't wait because it's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not to say that the Corona League itself, the Winter League,
right,
is not fun, but you can see that it's a lot more competitive.
Yes,
this is going to be a lot lighter. Just the banter between the corporate world,
yeah,
them against us,
mm-hmm.
and that's all it is. Them against us.
Yeah.
So 9 teams. That's a lot of teams.
Well, 1 game a night.
That's all they need.
Yeah, well, that Bengay.
That's all they need. And you got to understand, too, it's also summer night, so there's the heat is definitely out.
7 o'clock kickoffs. So, looking forward to it. With the final on Friday, July 13th.
Which is not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Short tournament, but it will keep that interest going. So
yeah, and some of the guys, you have some of these guys who are actually still playing in Premier Bowl and all the way down to guys who just like to play.
Right, and they're going to do it because it's work. It's part of work. Camaraderie.
Yeah.
Basically. I don't kick on a regular basis, but I'll have a kick today. You guys are short? Yeah. I'm glad I don't work for none of those corporate teams.
Yeah, well, those are the teams that are not going to be that good, I can tell you.
Right, yeah. It's all about having fun, then.
Yeah.
All about having fun. Well, let's turn our attention to cricket. On Saturday, at Devonshire Recreation Club.
Central Counties.
Cup holders,
Woo!
Tough Dogs.
Yeah.
Evening League Tough Dogs will take on Devonshire Recreation Club. Now, Little Bird has told me Rack have a little surprise. Might be
Former captain.
yeah, and
His cousin.
and his cousin. Both got the same last name.
Yeah.
Could be wearing the green and gold.
Well, I can tell you, if that does not happen,
Advantage Tough Dogs.
oh yeah.
Okay. If it does happen,
And some of my boys are down there, they're gonna say, "No, Jay, you can't." I'm just saying.
what we're saying is there's talk that Alan Douglas and Chris Douglas will suit up for
And I'll
Devonshire
tell you
Recreation
why.
Club.
I'll tell you why. If you look at the Tough Dogs lineup and you look at the field that they're playing on, if it was a big field, it would really hamper a lot of those older guys.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mobility isn't the best.
Right.
Yeah.
Clearing the ropes, it's not going to be a problem for some. So that's where the advantage now. If Tough Dogs are playing them in somewhere like Whitehill Field or something like that, I would have definitely say I'll give it to Devonshire Rec without a doubt.
Yeah.
But with Alan Douglas and Chris Douglas, they can clear those ropes with ease.
Sure.
They miss hit.
It's the support cast
Yeah.
is what would be concerning for Devonshire Rec.
But also keep in mind, Tough Dogs, we would have a couple of guys.
Oh yeah, last round they
That
had
was
Derek Brinkman
Derek
and
Brinkman
Jordan De Silva.
Jordan De Silva.
Yeah.
So, and Derek could be devastating.
Oh yeah, and he's playing against his old
And
team.
playing against his old team.
Sure.
And not only that, you're also talking about Jordan De Silva, who's made some runs. And I think last week he picked up some wickets. So it's. No, not last week. I didn't get too many last week. But regardless, he's been able to make some runs. So along with Dean Miners, who relishes these type of short versions of the game.
Any lollipops is gonna let him go.
Oh, he's anything close to his anything close to his zone, as we would say.
Sure.
Not sure he sees everything near his zone.
Funny enough, Funny enough, last round, he was making comments while he was feeling out that we're playing 30 overs too many. Because evening league they play 20 overs.
Yeah.
It's hot out there.
Yeah.
And you have to be in the right frame of mind and in the proper shape.
But I tell you, this is not their first year, and I think these guys have a idea now because they did go all the way.
Yeah, in the Bermuda Cricket Board's 2020.
Right. So not only that, even last year. So they've played now a few games, the 50 overs. And a lot of these guys have played before.
Right.
So it's just once you start getting then again, how many teams bet out 50 overs? We talk about
yeah.
So it doesn't have to be 50 overs.
Right.
Just the most you're gonna field out.
Yes.
So it's gonna be interesting. But I am really hoping, and once again, I'm not too happy of how the BCB is actually a lack of promotion on this game. I still can remember when Central Counties was a big thing.
Yeah.
And year after year, it becomes like the forgotten stepchild.
Well, to be honest, I agree.
Even though I know the BCB is not, Central County is a separate committee.
Right. But then through the cricket board,
they need some help.
And everybody should be on board to promote
They need some help.
Eastern, Western, and Central County.
Because all the attention basically goes straight to Eastern
Yeah.
County.
But then with the revival of the Champions of Champions, you want those other ones to be...
Because at the end of the season, if you haven't paid no attention to Central nor Western, then how good is your Champion of Champions?
Yeah. To promote the end result, you have to promote the long way. Yeah.
We got to do it at the beginning.
Right through.
Yeah,
right through.
Yeah. So it's going to be... I haven't seen it. Obviously, we're talking about it.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it, and it's interesting because it's not been a fresh year that no effort's been.
Yeah.
And I'm only saying that because now you have, let's say, once upon a time, we didn't have the money. Well, I haven't even seen it on social media.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it on social
Nowadays,
media.
you don't need to buy in.
You can't use that excuse anymore.
What clubs? Profile yourselves.
Exactly.
Profile your players.
We saw that, and I can tell you, remember I said this at the beginning of the season, Earl. I was very proud of a lot of the Premier Division, not even just Premier, but mostly Premier Division teams in the BFA this year, as they did a lot of promotion
through social media.
Not just before the game, but also after the game.
Yep.
They promoted where they was playing, who was playing, and then the result and everything after the game. So if we had to wait to the BFA website, no, we already knew the scores.
Right.
Probably for
self-promotion
from the own club.
Yeah.
And I can like just to throw it out, PAC was very good. Hatchet was very active, and Crossroads was very active in that all season long.
And kind of spurred other clubs on to jump on board.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of surprised I haven't seen that.
Same.
Because we know sometimes it's almost like a copycat game.
Yeah.
We saw St. David's promote last year via Facebook here and there. Rangers does it every now and then.
Right.
Bayless Bay started the year, but never continued it. I haven't seen anything from Bayless Bay online for a minute. But I would have thought this year, after seeing what football did, and it wasn't just like I said, Facebook was on Instagram, and even Twitter. So I'm pretty shocked to see why none of these clubs, the cricket clubs, have took that initiative to not waiting on mainstream media to help promote that game.
Right. Well, then we turn our attention to league cricket on Sunday. The Premier Division, big game. Two teams coming off of big wins last weekend at Southampton Oval. Southampton Rangers, who would want to stay within reach of and hope St. David's fall back, but they take on Bayless Bay. Bayless Bay will come in with a little bit of confidence. Rangers come in with a lot of confidence.
Obviously, I would say the game of the day, but there's probably a toss-up between this and the next game. But I'll tell you this. If Bailey Bay loses, that's it.
Yeah, out of the run.
Definitely out.
Yeah.
Rangers could possibly still hang in there. But it's not just winning, Earl. It's also collecting as many points.
There's bonus points. Yeah, there's bonus points.
Because we saw even last week certain teams losing out chance to,
close the gap.
Or not only that, pick up some extra points. We saw St. David's have a chance to lose a couple of points where they were unable to bat out the whole 50 overs. You had the young Smith who got out on the last ball. Some questions was, well, it was the last ball. There's no other balls, but he didn't bat out the last ball.
You were all out in 50 overs.
Yeah. So you will not be able to collect those points. So in saying that Rangers, but if you look at the Rangers team and you know them from history, they're very methodical when they go about playing. They are very much in tune of what points are there, what points need to be had, and how do we obtain those points. Now, the execution on the day, it's going to be interesting. But if you look at these, well, just think about it. You got Dag Bregman going up against two of his brothers and his daddy. That alone.
Which Bregman will come out on top?
That alone.
Yeah.
That alone, it's something that you know. Malachi Jones playing against
Bayless Bay, team he represented last year.
Gennaro Tucker playing against a team that for many years people said he could have had the chance to play for Bayless Bay.
And counting, yeah.
So it's Shannon Rayner, obviously.
From St. David, you want to beat Bay every opportunity.
But his probably might be one of the guys who might be recalled to the St. David squad for Connie.
Yeah.
So even though St. Davis is not playing, but they might be looking at how Shannon does against Bay. So all these things are going to be very interesting. And the game is up Southampton Ovals. And once again, we talked about Devonshire Rec being a small field. It should be a very exciting because also you got to wonder, Kyle and Zico from Bayless Bay, they came good with the bet. But you got, I'm going to keep saying this, they're the guys who St. George's might have to depend on for cup match. You gotta start.
Yeah.
Kyle's picked up a few. Zico's picked up a couple, but it ain't.
Right.
There's nothing that's, And then we talk about St. George's cup match. There is Charles Truck playing for Southampton Rangers.
Yeah.
So he be looking to replace one of those guys. Cup match. So it's gonna be. I think all eyes, even though the next game is probably a very important game, I think all eyes will be.
The game of the day is definitely Rangers today.
Yeah.
The next game you're talking about is St. George's at home to St. David's.
Yeah.
You said this 2 weeks ago. If St. David's win their next two games, pretty much league done.
Yeah.
This will be a game that they want to wrap up as quickly as possible.
And once again, get the maximum
points. Yeah.
If they bat out the whole 50 and pick up and then knock St. George's down, I think we could almost
wrap it all up. St. George's is going to want to make a statement after last week's loss to Southampton Rangers. Just have a better account of themselves. An all-round performance. Still to be seen. We'll see how that materializes.
Well, I'm throwing on something else. And I'm surprised you didn't say this.
What's that?
Because this is something that, I'm going to throw in something else. Even though, when it comes to cricket season, St. David's has always been more superior. Let's say the last 15 years.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's And this year in the football season, St. George's got the better half of St. David's. I think twice. Yeah. So we always know there's going to be some.
There's always that rivalry when those two teams play. Yeah.
So, who knows what happens on that day because of that talk? And I say this because you've got some emotional guys. Playing.
On both teams.
On both teams.
Yeah.
And they're very important guys.
Yeah. That could sway the game either way. Their temperament or their performance.
Some guys get hyped up and
do the job.
Have an extra gear.
Yeah.
And then some guys get hyped up and lose it.
Yeah. And basically the team goes with that attitude. Yeah.
So, without calling any names, I think we all know that it's going to be, if this game wasn't so far away, so I believe this is at
Wellington. You were there last week.
Yeah, but I'm going to be up Rangers. I can't, in between games, that's a long journey.
It is what it is. That's the way I look at it.
Sam, I think I have to call up to see what the score is while I'm up Rangers.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Now, the final game in the Premier Division is two teams that would right now be saying, wouldn't be saying anything other than Stars need a win. Somerset need a win as well to solidify their spot in the Premiership.
I'm going to say Somerset say. They just have a couple of extra players that have quality.
Right. For this game?
For this game.
Oh, yeah.
For this game. But I will still if I didn't go up to Rangers, I probably would have been Somerset. Because Somerset and Western Stars have a good bit of youngsters.
Yes.
That you can say, okay, if these young guys, if they hang in there, they hang in there. And I mean, even Stars probably got about 4 or 5. You know what? Right down to the keeper. I mean, we can go all over this. Yeah, the opening bowlers that got Nine, Seth Campbell, and a lot of these youngsters that they've got some talent. Just young, just real young. But to say that, you're also looking up at Somerset. You still got Richardson. You got
Dalen Richardson and Isaiah LJ. Yeah.
You got Isaiah. And then who knows what happens if Corday would be back out. Morrissey be looking to get some type of runs at the top of the order.
Yeah.
He's been, I think he had one decent partnership this year, but other than that, he hasn't really.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting. And then, obviously, we told about cup match with the St. George's side. You know, even though this guy's always got a cool, calm temperament, but it's Greg Mabry.
Yeah.
You know, his name will get called up again. And when it comes to who should Somerset drop. But he's come good with the bat this year. If you can have a number 11 batsman who's had a century this year in your team.
Okay, what's the other 10? Literally, what's the other 10?
You know what I'm saying?
Because if I need him, I know he can do a job.
He scored
a century. Opening the batting, too. Yeah, so, yeah. I'm going to bet him number 11 in the cup match. But he scored a century for me.
Opening.
Okay, all right.
So,
okay.
you know, but, you know, and I say, if you ever watch this young man, he is probably the most professional
It's about your business, yeah. It's about quietly. You need me to do a job, I'll do the job.
Prior to the match, he does everything he's supposed to do. He goes, even before the team warm up, he has his own warm up. When the team's talking, he's got his own warm down. Before coming out to bat, he's doing his own. He has his own regiment that he goes through, and it's impressive because it's just him doing it.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting, guys. Like Jordan, obviously the captain of Somerset. This is something that, who knows? He might see some of these youngsters at Stars because there is some family relationships. So can they get some of these young guys to come to Somerset? Who knows? I mean, as a captain of a cup match side, you're always looking for the next generation. And unfortunately, this game is not for, like I said, it's maybe to see who goes down.
Right. Obviously, if Stars lose, they're going to take that 6th position. And then, depending on the results of the other games, who finishes in 5th will play that playoff.
Yeah. And once again, they will still, like I said, they
Yeah. Well, Cleveland survived 3 years in the playoff and then came to an end. But,
once again, they've got some players down in Cleveland that on the day
can make a big difference.
difference.
Yeah. Well, actually, let's go to the first division.
Okay.
PHC and Warwick.
Interesting matchup.
Yes.
Very interesting. Obviously neighbors.
Yes.
They've had some battles over the years. But PHC has some influx of a couple of well, they've been scouting. See, I want to make sure that I said it. They have scouted some
Cal
players.
Waldron, he says you've been scouting.
Okay. You know what Earl's gonna say? You've been poaching.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you know, but no, it's interesting enough because I think I missed this when the transfer. I didn't think I caught Clay Darrell going to Warwick.
Yeah.
And even Clay Smith ended up playing last week.
He's played quite a few Saturdays. They're short on Saturdays. Yeah. Be interesting if Coach Tucker calls him out.
I think I missed it. I didn't see that on the transfer.
Late.
Yeah,
late.
But no, it's.
There might even be another surprise in the PHC team on Sunday.
Well, how many guys went back?
Well, there's been talk that Kyle Lightbourne's trying to.
Well, I was just going to try to tell you. Obviously, he played last year. A few games last year
Played
for
for
Southampton
Rangers, yeah.
And I wouldn't even be surprised if they even, and I don't know if he went back, also Hassan Dorm.
Right.
Because these two veterans, I don't want to call you guys old because that means I'm close to you guys. So. But anyway, you two veterans, they've gone to help PAC before.
And there's also been talk of Kevin Tucker, who is yet to feature in Southampton Rangers TV.
To be honest with you, Earl Bays, and I'm glad you mentioned that name because I know he's been doing some stuff with the club, Southampton Rangers, in the off season and off the field. But I even asked around. I didn't ask nobody at the club. But I went and watched him Sunday, and I was like, okay, where is? I haven't seen him. So it's going to be now. I know he's working, but I know obviously with that comes first and foremost.
Right, priorities.
And even with Kevin at the age that Kevin's at now, if he sees a youngster who's coming through, go.
Yeah, he'll step aside.
Yeah. I think his aspirations and that's what happened a couple of years ago, his aspiration was playing for the squad, which he did get in a few games.
Right.
But I think that his focus has changed a bit. So I can see him saying, you know what, if Southampton Rangers got the likes of the Ruby Mills, Charles Trott, and then the other
Sheldon Caesar.
And then even the youngsters, Teo.
Yes.
So there's 4 youngsters that people have to make way for. Because you can even say the same thing about Crane Tucker.
Yeah.
I had and before we even get into another sport, but I had a talk with Rohan. And that's another guy who Rangers were relying on the last couple of minutes. He's been the glue who saved them basically from embarrassment last season. But in saying that, he says, no, Jay, I'm really focusing on, the track and field.
Coaching,
And, they had a meet. So they said, I get calls. But the meet comes, and especially with what is dealing with now with Sakari, getting to that level with the Worlds coming up. Janai,
Parent Chief.
And then they said got a couple of youngsters as well. So he's been very active, obviously, in his duties as a coach for the track and field. So he's been unavailable. So, but even still, like I said, that mindset of these guys saying, you know what, if you have a youngster right now, play them. Because that's something that Southampton Rangers has been missing. So it'd be interesting how PAC deals with this because they did have a bunch of guys who left. But like I said, you always got some veterans who are coming back, who could always come back and play for anytime. And Cal always has a relationship with a lot of these guys.
Yeah, definitely. Our next game, Somerset Bridge at home to Cleveland County. You talked about it earlier, Cleveland County having some players in their team that can change a match.
Well, let's go first and foremost, Earl. You're looking at a month away from the county. You would expect all hands be on deck for guys who are trying to make the county team. You would expect all guys who are trying to make the county team to get some type of form. You would expect all guys on deck to even keep their place. It is Somerset Bridge. Basically, they've got a 2-pronged attack, bowling and batting. There's no diss to anybody, but Somerset Bridge goes as Noel and Donnie go.
Yeah.
And that's been for years. If Noel and Donnie has a bad game, well, Somerset Bridge, it'll be an early game. If Noel and Donnie have a good game, and even Sean Rod, I haven't heard too much with him this year, they stand a chance to have a longer game.
Right.
But Cleveland County should come away with this pretty easy. But once again, are they going to show up with the guys who are trying to challenge for Eastern County spot, which they do play the first round. The third week of July.
Well, you know what's funny? You say that. Not sure when Somerset Bridge will play. But they're going to have Western County prior to. They have 3 matches.
They have 3 matches.
So they're going to have to. Their players will have to be looking to do the same thing. We talked about it earlier about making the counties, I guess, publicizing them a little more, making
Interesting.
Well, yeah. So, hey, it is what it is.
But I'll tell you,
For Somerset Bridge, like Cleveland County is their cup match. Some of their players cup match.
Okay. So, I did mention to Islandstats, our listeners, our viewers, that the Voice of Summer will be broadcast in the Eastern County this year on Vibe 103.
Right.
We did talk about Western County. And I think we might even do that. We might do, and I'm just saying this, we might do, it all depends on sponsorship, obviously, because this takes money to do these things. Hopefully we can get some type of excitement going into the finals. And who knows, we might be able to get the finals broadcasted. But I think what guys have to realize is, number one, it's costly.
Yes.
Sponsors don't mind if there's some excitement.
Right.
So we've got to make this tournament, as we say, an exciting tournament. Then sponsors want to be a part of it.
Right.
Once they want to be a part of it, then they will come to a media so we can expose it and expose the product or this, that, and the other. So it works hand in hand. But first of all, like I said, if we build the hype up around the games, then that's going to lead to the sponsors want to be a part of it. Then that's going to lead to they want it to be broadcast.
Right.
So I think once we get all the stakeholders in Western County thinking that way,
there's a possibility.
There's a possibility.
Yeah.
And I say the same for Central County too.
Right.
I say the same for Central County. Obviously, it'd be way too late now to even decide on Central County this year. But that's the mindset that we have to get to. Yeah, technology has helped us come down on some costs, but once again, it's still a major cost.
Yes, of course.
And is it doable? Of course it's doable, but I think the game plan is we gotta get some more interest in the Western County. And once again, I remember when it was 2-day finals.
Yeah. And packed.
Yeah, and actually was on a Thursday.
First day was Thursday, second day was Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a Thursday, and again, people are packed at the game. You go figure. So, I mean, these are the things that these clubs do have a rich history. And especially Somerset Bridge. I mean, I just, rest in peace with me and Mackie.
Yes.
It was always a pleasure playing with guys.
You know who was one of the final, when they used to have the 2-day final in Western County, you know who one of the last persons to make a century was?
So Arnold Mendes or Jeff
Arnold
Richardson?
Mendes.
Yeah, Arnold Mendes. Yeah. And he played for Somerset Bridge.
Yeah.
Jeff Richardson also played for Somerset Bridge, I believe.
Did he?
Also.
Was it Somerset Bridge?
I believe so.
Okay.
I could be wrong, I believe.
Okay.
But no, it's Arnold Mendes. I want to say 107.
Not out, yeah.
Something like that. Boy.
No, we're not. Oh, no, you're still young. We're young.
But no, like I said, that's going to be an interesting game. And hopefully, and where's that game too?
I'm not even 100% sure where. Last year was at PHC, so more than likely either Rangers or.
But it won't be Rangers.
Why?
Because remember, Rangers playing big at Rangers.
No, what are you talking about? Western County?
I'm sorry.
Oh, we're talking about where the game is.
Yeah,
White Hill.
Yeah, White Hill. Right.
And Somerset Bridge in Cleveland?
Right.
Yeah, White Hill. Yeah. Final game. They got a double up. Well, some players have got a double up. Devonshire Recreation Club are home to the Mighty Flats, who have been scoring plenty of runs this season.
Abundance.
Yeah. Spurred on by the top order, Reggie Baker, Dejan Carey, Kaiwan Franks, Regino Smith. You go down the list, they've all showed up.
I'm going to put this out there, I'm going to put this out there. And I'm not going to call nobody's name.
Okay.
Who I spoke with. Because, I have these conversations.
I know you do have these conversations.
And I spoke to a coach. Also part of the national program.
Okay.
So I threw that. And there's many coaches part of the national programs, not just the senior coaches.
Yes.
Many coaches. And I said, you've been around a long time. I said, how come this certain person has never been called to the squad? And I say this because we looked at when Kyle Lightbourne became the coach of the National Football Team. He sort of changed the stigma of you only had to be a Premier Division player. Sort of opened up the door. If you're good enough, let's take a look at you.
Yeah. Not even if you're good enough, if you're consistent
enough. And I mentioned the player's name, and he looked at me strange. Until I said, okay, well, Ozzy is a batter. Yeah, he's pretty consistent. Ozzy is a bowler. Oh, yeah, he's pretty good too. Ozzy is a fielder. Oh, yeah. Ozzy is a captain. Yeah, you're right about that too. But you know, Flats always gets the better than this thing.
Nah.
But when you start looking at this, you say, okay, you might have a point. And this is a coach. It's like it's like, but they just never seem to get the good end of the stick. And you know, I heard it from Nelson Bass and and that's why last week we made sure we the previous show we made sure we highlighted him.
Right.
But I'm gonna say the name, Kaiwan Franks. Why hasn't he, St. George's, looked at trying to pull him into a cup match team that, number one, needs leadership? You can't find...
Why not Somerset?
When I say who really needs him, the need.
Somerset.
Somerset's made 3 changes in about 5 years.
I remember I used to have that argument. I remember I used to have that argument when we had the cup.
We're talking about today.
Okay, no, I'm just saying.
We're talking about today, though.
Don't be surprised if you find yourself in the same position.
We're talking about today. The last 3 years, you're made 15 changes.
What's securing players?
That's what you call it?
Yeah, securing players.
You're not serious right now. You're really not serious. But get back on a serious note.
Yeah.
Get back on a serious note. With his temperament for pressure, because he's played Eastern County.
Yeah.
So he's played in a big game.
You're in, you're out. The last few years, yeah.
And it's captain. Or if it's not captain, he's might as well say he's been on the field captain. Bowling, useful. Batting, useful.
Yeah.
And he can field, and he knows the game.
Yeah.
I can mark those boxes for some of the players that I saw play cup match for St. George's the last couple of years.
Cup match in general.
Well, even saying that.
Yeah.
But I'm sticking to him going, why St. George's has that. Hasn't even called him, because
He's played in trial matches.
He didn't go last year.
No, the year before last, he was in the trial match.
He didn't go last year.
What stopped him 2 years ago? Remember, he got injured in the county game?
Well, it was an injury. Right.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying there's something.
I think he was even called up into the squad a few years ago, but got injured. Yeah.
And I think it was football. So,
no, it weren't. It was a work commitment thing that he couldn't get. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting because he's getting older.
Yeah.
He's getting older.
It's getting wiser.
And if it is a chance for him to be showcased on the major game of our season, then I want to think that time is of the essence.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting, guys. Reggie Baker. Say what you like, but he's
been consistent.
Dijon Carey, he's done well.
Yeah.
Up at the top of the order. Sometimes a little unorthodox at times.
What you got away with, mate.
But I saw this stroke from a St. George's player last week, and I'm still trying to figure out how did he manage to pull it off for 4. Justin Denbrook, I'm still trying to figure out the stroke you played, bro. I think the whole bank looked at each other like, okay, everybody was trying to emulate this one stroke that he did.
If it works for these players?
But it worked. Now, mind you, the next ball he was up.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but it was...
Because you wanted him to play a conventional shot.
I just wanted to do it again, really. But no, it's gonna be interesting because even then I think they have the second round. Yep, they have the second round in Eastern County, so they still have a little ways.
Right.
So that second round will be the 2 weeks after cup match. It'll probably be like the 3rd week of August.
Yeah.
So they've still got a way. And one thing with that, Earl, we mentioned about the Eastern County teams, especially teams like Flats and Cleveland. The longer their round is during the season, the longer their players
stay in the league. Yeah.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Well, anything before we go?
Yeah, most definitely. Shout out to the trio who's going across the pond, Chicago Eastern.
Yeah, they race on Sunday.
Yep, race on Sunday, and Hotzel and Aaron Butterfield.
Yeah.
By the mind you, Aaron will be in a different boat.
Yeah.
But I think that game will be a stream too, if I remember looking at the website last night.
Yeah,
but no,
England, you can get English power boating on a regular basis.
Yeah, but to have these guys who are very competitive, especially Chicago. Chicago wants to beat you in anything.
Yeah.
But no, test out where the talent is.
Right.
Obviously, this is not the first time Chicago's been over there.
Yeah, he was over there last year.
And I think we're based with the same team that these guys are with now. But they've made some connections, and they've been welcome.
Yes.
Obviously, taking a bigger team this year. But it'll be interesting because you want to see them up against other competition.
Yeah.
So it looks like a very vibrant racing circuit over there. I looked at the website. Good bit of classes.
Right.
And let's see how they work. Racing is racing when it comes down to it.
Basically, yeah.
Racing is racing.
Throttle and steering.
Yeah, so good luck to you guys.
Yes,
and
indeed.
I would definitely, hopefully we have all the information, what you guys came, and who knows, maybe some video.
Yeah.
Don't forget, if you got any video of some pre-stuff, please send it to us at Islandstats, and we'll be happy to show the world. But once again, I just can't wait to this weekend because we got a full pack of excitement tonight. And like I said, the small bowl, the heat, the barbecues,
Sure.
the coolers.
Don't forget the coolers.
Don't forget the plenty ice.
Yeah. Next week we'll be talking about the Edward Cross long distance race.
A lot of ice.
Plenty. But you have your hands full doing other things. Yes. Well, folks, that's it from the Digicel Sports Show. Have a good night.